Man, do we have another doozy of a chapter today. Welcome back, guys. Today I got our chapter 1175 of One Piece today, which feature Sabo with a bunch of koala on the cover page, and then koala having coffee with one of them. You know, quite the interesting cover page. Then we got Sanji. Starting off with Sanji saving Robin from the vines. About time, honestly. Everybody cheering. Jinbei noticing that the vines are weak to high temperature. Honestly, I feel like Jinbei should have done more. Like, you know, if you coach your, couldn't he have coated his arms in Ottoman hockey and like rip it up, like something. He has an axe on his back too, so like coat that in Ottoman hockey, cut it or something. Like, I feel like there's probably could have been a few things that Jinbei could have done, but we'll see. Jinbei kind of like it's kind of in the background right now as we're going on. And then Robin noticed that it's not time to celebrate. Sanji's noticed the same thing and noticed somebody's hockey, which I'm assuming is probably Loki. And then the roar is probably definitely Loki. So yeah, see how that goes. And then he sees a massive shadow. I don't know if he's talking about the nightmare monsters or this shadow, which kind of looks like it might be Loki right there. Now we cut to the village. We got the kids and their mom, and then goddamn, what's that man name again? Elder Yarod. Yeah, I got the kids, their parents, and Elder Yarod, and then it looks like probably Loki's wing. It is Loki's wing. And then they tell Loki that the village is in shift and to take the kids somewhere else, and he tells them that is not his problem, as he should. That is not his problem. There's way more for him to worry about right now. Y'all can keep a couple kids safe. Like you got to deal with Imuganko over there, Summers. Like there's a lot more problems than the kids being safe right now. Like y'all can handle that. Y'all can deal with that. Then he tells all of them to climb down. Luffy noticed Zoro. Like, oh, Zoro! You know? And then Elder Yaru proceeds to announce that the kids are safe. There's no more hostage to worry about. You see the Straw Hats that we just seen before. Jinbei, Robin, Nami cheering, thank goodness. The other Giants cheering, alright. And then Zoro telling Loki and Luffy that they took their sweet time. Yep, and then Luffy saying, "Yep, that's Loki," and then this place should be safe with Zoro there. God, he always does that. Like he always like just hypes up Zoro. Like, hey, as long as you here, I got nothing to worry about. Like he's that's his man's. That's his man's. That's his man's. He really shows that. That's his man's. And then Zoro asks him since he's already in giant form to take care of the nightmare monsters, otherwise they're gonna become a problem. Now we got Summers being pissed off because his fun got ruined. And then he says it might actually be for the best, because then he can still take the brat to the Holy Land, but he's trying to kill their parents now. And then the kids all line up to defend their parents since their parents just saved them and they can't move because they're all critically injured. I feel like they should be able to deal with a lot more than just some thorns, but let's just story progress. It's just part of the story progressions. Let's see how it goes. Then he starts having an orgasm from the kids trying to protect their parents, and then tells them to say goodbye. And then you got Ripley telling Colin to run away. Then we got our man's the right hand to an emperor, coming in, clearing the way from the thorns that he shot out of his snake, vine snake things. I don't know, vine snake that shoots vine like thorns and stuff. I don't know. Shit, that's interesting. Now we got Luffy hyping up Zoro again. Way to go, Zoro! I knew you had this in the bag. And then Summer's wondering who did that. Then Luffy giving an introduction for Zoro, basically. Say, he's Zoro. He's a member of my crew. Don't you forget it. As he's grabbing a lightning bolt and winding back. It looks like he's preparing for a rifle attack. So usually when he curls his arm back like that, it looks like it's a rifle. Then he gets the scope. Like, what is up with Luffy and scoping nowadays? Like, he just started putting aim on all of his attack. Like, okay. I ain't judging. Now we got a new attack from Gear 5th. Booming Dawn Tor Rifle. And holy, does that do damage. Holy crap, does that do damage. That shatters the crap out of Summers. It looks like it destroyed his face. Or is that just the lightning coming from the attack? I don't know if that's just the lightning sparks coming from the attack or his face just got split in half here and his teeth are coming out. Like, holy, it's a good thing he can regenerate because you're not walking that off. Definitely not walking that off if you can regenerate. And then you see the vines coming off of the kids because Summer got knocked out probably for a little bit. Then Ripley is happy to finally see Luffy's white form, the warrior of liberation. Then Summers says that's a tall tale to scare kids. And then the villager noticed the real Nidhogg that they got saved by, and Loki finishes off Summers by giving him another stomp down from his talons, I guess. Then we see Summers, not Summers, Scopper and Chopper. Scopper's going into the flashback of Yarrow explaining Loki's devil fruit, which does not make sense at all. Because as far as I remember, Yarrow, when he was asked in like the flashback chapter if he knew anything about the devil fruit, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure he said that he didn't know nothing about the devil fruit. So why is he all of a sudden giving an explanation for the devil fruit when he didn't know nothing about it? You know, it doesn't make sense. But he explained the mythical dragon fruit. It is said whoever eats it transforms into the world's most colossal dragon. The size of the creature is relative to the initial size of whomever eat the devil fruit, of course. So if a human eats it, they'll be an even bigger. But if a giant eats it, they'll be even bigger. But if somebody like Loki eats it, it will bring out the true potential of the devil fruit, which explains why Zebek wanted Harald to eat that devil fruit because somebody like Harald with Harald's strength, which is became relative to Loki after he ate the devil fruit. So if Harald had this devil fruit, that would have been something. That would have definitely would have been something. I don't think there would be many people that would have beat him. Don't think so. But yeah. Says this dragon breathes lightning, and when it flies, its jet black body can turn day into night. Then Shanks asks if this is the reason the fruit was forbidden because its power is so immense. And it says no, it's because the Hammer Guardian was protecting it, Ragnir. Apparently in Elbaf there's a legend of a god of war who fought with Ragnir and took the form of the giant dragon and locked horn with the sun god apparently. Wow. Accompanied by his loyal partner, the Ice Squirrel Ratatotsker. To make a long story short, after his master died, the loyal Ratatotsker possessed the weapon Ragnir and awaited his master's return, so the legend goes. Wow. We get introduced to somebody. I feel like this is probably before the Void Century, because this is not um, like Joy Boy thing. This is Nika himself, like the actual sun god Nika. So I feel like this is definitely before the Void Century. Somebody fought head to head with the sun god. Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. Definitely impressive. And then we get back to the current time, and Copper. I don't know if it's Copper or still Yaru. Like thinking about this, that it seems that Ragnir is no longer acting as the god for the fruit's power, and it finally made its choice, and it chose Loki. Then we get a few good panels. Loki with Luffy and Ratatosker chasing off the Nightmare Monster and unleashing a nuclear lightning blast. This is probably the biggest attack we have ever seen in One Piece. This just mere size of this thing, it's immense. This is probably the biggest attack we ever seen in One Piece. And then we also see Imu Gonko noticing Nidhogg and saying that it's been here all along. And you just see the nightmare monsters falling apart as Imu looks over them. And that's the end of the chapter. Wow, what an amazing chapter. I feel like we're not missing nowadays, man. I feel like we're not missing. We're very fast forward into One Piece right now. Like we're not missing with chapters. Like chapters is going in. It's going in. Like the lore, the story, everything is progressing really fast nowadays. But I can't wait to see you guys on the next chapter.